What is up, everybody? We are Cinema 3D, and we are currently doing a top 5 extravaganza where we pick 5 categories and name our 5 favorite choices. This episode is going to be all about animated series. So we are back to the top 5 extravaganza, and in this episode we are doing animated series. Now, to preface this isn't just going to be animated series from the age of television. If we want to go back to a theatrical run of an animated series from 20s, 30s, whatever it is, anything animated will count. It can be we're including anime in this as well, right? Or are we just doing?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So full blown, if it's drawn,
not for me,
it's going in. You are doing only Western.
No, I mean, like, not I said that wrong, but not for me. But are you guys considering animation being some as well as like something like Space Jam where it's mixed, or is it just strictly only animation?
No. I think if the primary essence is animation, then I think it can count.
Okay.
Now, I don't know any live action animation series hybrids.
Oh yeah, series.
But
Forgot.
Regardless, yeah.
You just said it like a minute ago.
So,
I'm good.
I say we just get right into this. Start talking about some tunes.
I think
some tunes. I can kickstart this one.
Yeah.
Amen.
Alrighty, so
Very fitting.
Very fitting. There was a lot of time actually spent on this 5th choice.
Oh, yeah.
Way more time than you think.
I'm sure.
It came down to 3 different options, and I had one kind of set and ready. But then the more I thought about my entire life and what shows I really liked, I had to give it to an actual kind of I don't think an option that you'd be thinking. Now, this is a classic from the late 90s and early 2000s. It had only a limited good run, but that run was fantastic. And this option is actually SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wow. Okay. No, I get that. Absolutely.
So I didn't have it in there originally because the show, after Steven Hillenburg left, the creator of the series, just went drastically downhill. The comedy became shallow. It wasn't good. The animation became a little too cutesy, a little too crisp almost. It lost some of that edge that I had early on. So I didn't even include it at first because I was like, that's a points against it. But then me and my friend were talking about the first 3 seasons and the seasons that the creator was there for and his comedy that he had. And you can't deny that that was one of the most cleverly written animated shows of all time. One that was designed for kids, but also an adult can watch it and laugh just as hard as a kid.
Absolutely.
That was what was so great about it. Very clever humor, very old school style humor as well. And I think it helped, honestly, shape a lot of people's taste in comedy for those who grew up with it in that generation in the late 90s and 2000s. It was a way of having really clever comedy in a series and getting a good taste of what something truly funny can be, and not just throwaway maniac type jokes, but actually really well thought out gags and funny phrases. So I just think that was probably that 3 season run was one of the best things to happen to animation in the 90s and 2000s, and I wish they ended it at that, with the quality still being there. Also, I love the fact that in the 90s we had a return. Instead of these half-hour or 22-minute long stories, we had a return of the classic 7 to 10 minute segments. I love that.
I remember that. I remember them being shorter.
They were, there was 2 there was 2 ones per episode. They were roughly, I guess, 11 minutes probably for a 22-minute episode.
Right.
But that's going back to the style of Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes. And I think it's a format that animation thrives in because you're not stressed about, obviously long animation can be great, but I think if you're doing a series like that, you can really do a lot with the 11-minute time.
No, I agree.
A wide variety of options you can do.
Good
of
choice,
styles.
man.
Yeah.
Good choice.
So yeah, closing in with that one. Only first 3 seasons. Again, I want to reiterate that. I remember when the new episodes came out as a kid, and me and my brother both looked at each other and went, nope, this isn't it. It's not the same.
Okay. Going strong with the SquarePants.
Going strong with the square. So we are going over to John or Justin next.
It's me.
Okay.
Perfect.
Say the best for last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me. I have not
That's
seen
right.
any of SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, I've seen clips,
Yeah.
there, but I never really watched it as a kid, so
You didn't know.
that's why I was kind of more silent during this segment. But I've heard so many people, even Janae, she said she watched SpongeBob as a kid. She loves it. She was thrown even more for a loop when I told her that I hadn't seen anything.
Oh man, I can imagine.
So
Do you watch it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man. It was Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
The two thriving things for me as far as
No, yeah.
that as a kid.
I also really liked Toon Disney. I don't know if you remember that channel.
Yeah.
Had a wide variety of stuff from Disney from the 90s. It was also where you could go at night for Gen X,
Yes.
watch some of the superhero content on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, but you're number 5.
my number 5. I feel like this list is so malleable because there's so many, I'm sure for all of us, but so many ones that you could easily put above another one.
Oh yeah.
As of right now, I'd say my number 5 is one that I, among many, watched when I was young. Pretty much all of these besides a couple picks, but this one is just fun, and I don't know, it's hard to describe because it's made for kids, obviously, but I could also still enjoy it now.
Yeah.
It's Tom and Jerry.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Like I was trying to describe it in way too much because it's self-explanatory. Cat and mouse game, the entire show, and I'm talking about the original one.
Oh yeah.
I haven't really
Hanna-Barbera
seen-
animated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen the new movie, which I think you said wasn't good.
It was definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Hands down.
But regardless, the classic, the OG, I watched that Saturday morning whenever it was on TV, and it's just a great time. And I always have great memories. Think about Tom chasing Jerry,
But yeah.
and Jerry winning way too many times. But what the few times Tom and Jerry are like on a team together,
Yeah.
it's like those were some fun episodes.
It's still so funny.
It is.
Like I've busted out laughing even watching it now.
Again, it's just some of the most, just the stuff you can do with no dialogue, all physical, just comedy. It's amazing.
And then Tom's scream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Wow, that was almost like on point.
Once or
great.
twice an episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun fact, that, you know, Hanna-Barbera, right? That was Joseph Hanna screaming.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Creator of Tom and Jerry, creator of Scooby-Doo.
Man, he's got some lungs, let me tell you.
Oh, he just crazy.
So yeah, that's my 5th pick.
Well, that's a good choice. John?
Okay. My number 5 is a show that reinvigorated these characters. Obviously in the 80s, there was they had a show already and it was classic. The intro you could hum almost instantaneously. They had a couple of films too, which, you know, some varying degrees of quality, but overall the first one is held as really, really good, especially for being a kid. But this show in the early 2000s I love because it really brought the best of both worlds for everything as far as their comics and whatnot. I'm talking about the early 2000s iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, wow. That's incredible, man.
Oh yeah, I remember literally watching this show every time it came on. It came on Cartoon every time it came on Cartoon Network, and it's just so good.
No, it's fantastic.
I remember it just being so badass, fun, funny, the adventure, the sci-fi element, all the Ninja Turtles are awesome.
Yep.
The character development, they go outlandish. This is definitely more outlandish than the 80s show, but
Yeah, more intense as well.
but it's more intense and it's
Better
cool.
written,
Oh,
probably, yeah.
definitely better written too. It's just badass. It's definitely one of the staples of my childhood.
Same,
I
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Da-na-na-na. Oh, it's so good, man. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. That's an awesome intro.
Yeah, it's a fantastic intro.
But yeah.
I watch it on 4Kids every Saturday morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, it's just so good, guys. And Shredder's badass. All the villains are badass in there. And yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are one of those shows as a kid that I would watch religiously.
Mm-hmm. So. That's a fantastic choice. I mean, I'm obviously a huge fan, but the 2003 one in particular is really gets the characters down into their kind of core essence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So we're going back around the town here. So I'm up again.
Yeah.
All right. So number 4 is going to be another comedy. This one has to be one of the best comedies ever created. One that all 3 of us love and enjoy. It's an obvious choice to be on here because how can it not be? And probably the one I watch the most frequently. This would be Family Guy.
Yep.
Whoa.
Of course.
Yep.
Okay.
He started off, I'm introduced to SpongeBob, laughing my ass off at that. And then all of a sudden I find a cartoon that's saying things that I could never even imagine a cartoon character saying.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The Family Guy really was my introduction to adult animation always at a young age though. Like introduced to adult animation when I was probably like 7. Really the modern, for our generation, kind of The Simpsons.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think what The Simpsons did, kind of set the staple for what animation can be, and that it can be a series that feels adult oriented. If you really want to go back far, the Flintstones actually really started that whole thing.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yeah, making a show that can be a sitcom for adults, and that was more like how TV was in the 60s anyway.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Simpsons brought that into the 90s and then set the stage. But Seth MacFarlane took that concept of the adult animated show with The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead and just went insane.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely the modern sitcom that's just crazy off the wall.
And a parody of sitcoms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very much so. So good.
So good. Just everything you could imagine pop culture thrown
Easily.
in. And just pretty much never gets old.
No,
I mean, you
never
can
does.
always put it on.
Absolutely.
So funny.
Yeah, every episode will be funny.
Oh, you just die laughing.
Endless memes when you're scrolling on any social media platform.
Oh, I'm here for it.
And the entire structure of the show with just the cutaways.
Yes.
Is
that's so brilliant.
It's brilliant.
So brilliant. Yeah. Great choice, man.
Really hard to beat that one. Justin?
Oh, there we go.
So you had SpongeBob and Family Guy.
Correct.
5 and 4. Interesting. Because my number 4 is Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
I don't. You already said it all, but Family Guy is. I haven't even made it past season 5 yet, just because I'm watching a lot of stuff. But pretty much every single episode is great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it just keeps getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 all the way to 5, and I know what season 19 or 20 right now, or 21 or something
20
like that.
Maybe.
So
that's great.
They're not slowing down. It looks like.
Absolutely.
No, and I thought the show went downhill. I assumed it did for some reason, but watching it really doesn't.
No.
It's just always pretty much consistently funny.
Yeah. So that's why Family Guy is my number 4.
Great choice.
Okay. All right, boys. My number 4 is a show that we all grew up with. It's so iconic. They've made some live action films. Two of them are definitely a childhood favorite, but looking back on it, hasn't really aged well, but I still love them. But the show I love, and I hope that somebody does a film or even a show or even like a live action show of of these characters justice and have that creepy element that the show does have in the original show. I'm talking about Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Where are you? Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Once you said 2 live action movies, I was like, yep.
They made more than that, I'll tell you that. But the 2 are the
Yeah.
best. But they haven't aged well. I do enjoy the first Scooby-Doo movie, but yeah, like I said. But yeah, I think it's so good.
Absolutely.
So well done. Each adventure with the gang is always fun to watch. It's very eerie too. I mean, it's funny, but there's some eerie stuff in there. The atmosphere, whenever like the thing that always gets me as a kid, which I've told you guys, but whenever they're like, let's solve a mystery, and they're all like they're in like a castle or something like that, and they're all like, all right, let's go, guys, and they go, and then the camera just lingers on like the background, and it goes into like zooms in, and maybe it's a statue of like a mannequin or whatever, right? But the eyes open, it's the creature or it's the person that they have to fight against or whatever. You go into that, and it's a weird.
Yeah,
it's just like, whoa, dude. To me, and that's why like the Insidious films, which I think James Wan could kill it as far as making a Scooby-Doo, a new Scooby-Doo film.
Make it really creepy.
Make it really creepy, but still some fun elements, but creepy. Because he does that with the Insidious films, where it's like this weird, like that type of thing, that theatrical, like, whoa. But and all the creatures, the monsters, they're all iconic. Captain Cutler, Minor 49er, the Black Knight, the Creeper. Oh yeah, I mean, those are all great characters. Scooby-Doo is so iconic. Scooby Snacks. Yeah. You have Fred, Velma, Daphne, Shaggy. It's just so good. Played brilliantly by Matthew Lillard in the first 2 films, by
Absolutely.
the way. But yeah, Scooby-Doo, where are you guys? That's
Scooby-Doo, where are you guys?
No, Scooby-Doo, where are you? That's
We're
good.
talking the 60s rendition.
Oh,
OG. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's 69.
69, yeah.
Yeah.
Still looks great.
And groundbreaking show in the sense of first kind of regular mystery style kind of animated show that all the time
keeps you invested too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a kid, you were invested, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I want it, almost like you're on a ride with them.
Yep.
So good.
And also the whole young adult lead.
Yep.
Kids in the 60s being depicted kind of like they're in the 60s and stuff like that. Pretty
For some reason, they look like 30-year-olds.
30-year-olds.
Which is hilarious because the live action does do that, and it's like kids.
They poke fun at it.
They're like they're in their 30s. Yeah. But
Ryan Gosling is Fred.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah.
He's old.
Really old now today.
Yeah, he's old. Yeah. But no, that.
He
And
could look young.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who would play.
I know, like
the other ones, like.
Yeah, they were all definitely in their 30s when they're.
Ooh, here we go. Here's
late 20s.
Let me go ahead and try to let's fan cast this real quick.
That would be fun.
All right, so just big names.
I would say
I'm fine with Ryan Gosling as Fred.
Ryan Gosling or even Zac Efron.
Everyone a little younger.
Zac Efron.
His face is
Emma. Zac. Yeah, that's true. Zac Efron. Emma Stone as Daphne.
Yeah.
Velma. Who's Velma? I think Daniel Panabaker.
Florence Pugh.
But Daniel Panabaker. Not Daniel Panabaker.
She's in Flash.
She's in Flash. That's right. Now Danielle something. She played Faye Valentine in the live action Cowboy Bebop. If you guys ever seen that, she could be Velma if you nerd her up. Nerd her up because she is beautiful, just like Linda Cardellini was as Velma in the 2 movies, which that always killed me because like even when she's all nerded up, Linda Cardellini is really good looking. So I'm like, what in the world is going on here? But that's the early 2000s and 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thing, which is great. But then Shaggy, who would you do? Shaggy?
That's a really tough choice. I mean,
Matthew Lillard crushed it. So
yeah, no, he's perfect.
Michael Cera.
Maybe.
Think about it.
Maybe.
Give him a little little bit of.
Could he really hit maybe he could, like the whole Zoink Scoob type
I think so, man.
kind of stoner vibe.
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. It's just so hard to see Shaggy is not as Matthew Lillard.
I
Everyone
know.
else, I feel like I could recast, but not him.
Yeah.
Just bring it
I
back.
agree. Just bring it back. Yeah, just bring it back. I mean, man.
Everyone goes except you. You say.
Yeah. Easily. But yeah. Anyways,
Oh,
that
that's
was
a great
a little
choice.
fan casting.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
69.
Yeah.
Because there's like 2 or 3 other shows that are pretty much titled Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Also, not also, but like
What's new, Scooby-Doo?
Loved it as a
Loved
kid
it.
as well.
A pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy-Doo. And did he have a show?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
It was
TV shows.
Scrappy-Doo, Scooby-Doo, and Shaggy. It was actually, when did it actually come out? Actually, it was the
Probably
adventures of
80s.
80s, right?
Yeah, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, it had to be. That was pretty good. I watched it as well.
Yeah, 70. Scooby and Scrappy-Doo was 79.
Okay.
Just 10 years after.
Right.
The synopsis: Scooby-Doo's nephew, Scrappy, helps solve mysteries.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Man, Scrappy is always annoying, and I love that they poke fun at that in the Scooby-Doo live action film, because Scrappy is annoying. Think he
Yes.
can just like this and that. You're like a little pup. So he gets kick you like a field goal into a field goal.
Because
So,
Scrappy is annoying.
yeah, very much so.
That is awesome.
But
It's
yeah,
literally just Scooby with a midget body. Like, the face is the exact same.
dude, that's you and your son. Scrappy's gonna be your son.
Oh,
He's gonna be
absolutely.
like, let's go.
Are
Let's
you
go.
kidding?
Oh man,
So,
And Janae's somewhat a cross between Velma and Daphne.
who's Scooby in the back seat? Oh, that's me.
That's you.
you're Scooby. Then you got, what? Fred Shaggy?
Yeah. That's accurate. Oh,
So for my third choice here, let me see where it's okay.
Yeah,
For my
we did Epstein.
for my third choice, it's kind of a weird way to describe what the series is, but it is a series ran from the 20s to the 50s, and I don't think there was any way of not representing this as animation, when in a sense, in a way, I want this to be higher, but I'm happy where it is right now because it's probably the most important series that happened to animation. And that is just, in general, no name for the series, but it is Walt Disney Animation.
okay.
We're talking about the original run from 1920s to 1950s of
Nice.
the Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, the kind of trifecta of Disney characters. They had the series called The Silly Symphonies that co-ran with it. But it is the most important series of animation because everything it did, from taking animation that was just kind of loose one-off stories, really giving them a character that was personable and identifiable, really. I mean, you had a few cartoon stars before that, but none that encapsulated that much personality
Oh, absolutely.
as Disney's characters. Tonally brought synchronized sound to animation, and
Yeah.
then brought color to animation, and then brought the multi-layer camera to animation to give it depth, give it feel. It's just here was Walt Disney, and here was just everyone else.
Yeah,
I mean, he was just light years ahead. And then, of course, I would say the thing that kind of put it down was actually Disney growing up into the animated film business.
Yeah.
Because all these other companies who were competing with Disney at the time, before Looney Tunes came out, and before really Bugs Bunny, when they blew up in the 40s, Disney's main competitor was the Fleischer Studio.
Yeah.
And they were the only other ones to try and break into the actual field of feature-length animation.
Right. Right.
But they didn't have what Disney had. They didn't have the charm of a Disney film, the writing. They were, I'm sure, okay,
Yeah.
but Disney was something on another level back then. And Walt, with his experimenter type nature, it's just like you couldn't compete.
Man, just the old school animation is so smooth and just larger than life, but feels realistic too. Like, I just love that, and we kind of because obviously cost and everything, and we just don't have that anymore, which sucks. But like when you look at these old school cartoons, it's like
Beautifully animated.
super smooth animation, multiple frame, like thousands of frames. Just do it. It takes a long time, but that's what's brilliant.
And the thing with the Disney cartoons, I think, were as time went on, they got a little bit funnier.
Yeah.
They did some more stuff, like the Goofy and Donald Duck type cartoons. They got a little bit more humorous, but in their peak, it wasn't so much about humor, but it was more about showcasing the art.
Yeah.
And I think Disney was the most artistic at the time, which is absolutely bonkers if you think about the company today.
Oh, I know.
And calling them artistic, but Disney was the artistic ones. They were that's why, and people were interested in what they were going to do next.
Absolutely.
And then also just growing up, most people didn't really grow up with the Disney cartoons as much because Disney didn't really air them on TV like Warner Brothers did with Looney Tunes and whatnot. Right. But myself, being just the Disney fan that I was, I had just probably a stack this high of VHSs, DVDs with all the original runs. So they were just a crucial part, I think, of my childhood growing up. All those classic Disney shorts.
Very nice.
So that is my third choice.
Love it.
Walt Disney Animation.
Walt Disney Animation, straight up.
I like the black and white Mickey Mouse.
Kind of, well, I mean, Steamboat Willie, where he's driving the boat.
Iconic.
Yeah, iconic. That's the first synchronized sound cartoon.
That's Justin in his curl.
that free
Listening to
animation
Drake
is a vibe, bro. It's like he's just vibing. Oh man. Okay, so my number 3, right?
Yeah.
This one is the most recent entry as far as when the show started. But I feel like it deserves recognition.
I think I know it.
Oh yeah.
It's just so good. It's one of my favorite animated shows. It's fun. It's got references to so many forms of media, and the main two characters just work so well together, and they play off each other like to be one of the greatest duos on screen, and that is Rick and Morty.
Oh,
wow.
Awesome.
It's way too fun for me not to put it in my
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is.
A lot of people too.
Yeah. It's Rick Sanchez, man. He's such a good character. Yeah, he's the grandpa. He's always drinking, but he always knows exactly what to do, even though he might get it wrong the first time. He figures it out.
Yeah.
He's drunk Batman with balding head. Like
Nice.
But the show was great.
I watched, how many seasons are there? I think I watched 4 seasons of it.
So you're almost there.
I'm almost there,
Season
yeah.
6 just came out, and I had seen up to 5 right now.
Yeah, my dad loves it a lot.
Yeah,
That's a great show. Really
it's just
clever.
fun. Like
Yeah.
22-minute episodes, just like
Vibrant animation.
yeah, and psychedelic.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times I like had to stop for a little bit after the episode just because like wow, that was a lot packed into 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
For an animated show.
Yeah.
I forget about that.
Man.
I love it.
It's a show that I think stands out in modern age of like being a show of the 2010s.
Yeah.
It really is.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And it's really funny too.
It is.
Like, it tries to be funny, but it actually does. Like it's actually funny. It's not like it's dry or like it falls flat or anything like that.
No.
Especially with the dad.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry. Oh man.
Jerry is fantastic.
Yeah. Rick and Morty, goated show. I only have it at number 3 because it's the top 2 are classic that I love from my younger self, and especially my first pick.
All right.
So, can't wait to get to those.
Very interesting in what it is.
Okay. My number 3.
Number 3.
It's a show that I would also watch religiously as a kid. This show they're taking way too long. A certain company is taking way too long to release it anywhere.
Oh,
And it's killing me because
Yeah.
this show I just love, and it is a satire on some science fiction shows like Star Trek. It is Duck Dodgers.
fantastic.
It is so good. Keep in mind, like Paul Dini from the animated series, Batman the animated series, came on to help write this
Yeah.
and come up with this concept. And it's so good. This is what made Daffy Duck stand out from Bugs Bunny, because Bugs Bunny was and it still is the GOAT.
Yeah.
But Duck Dodgers is what made Daffy Duck. People start raising eyebrows, and it's like, oh, this is actually awesome.
Duck Dodgers.
I only wish that they had Bugs Bunny. I mean, it could have taken away from from Daffy Duck, but if Bugs Bunny was in there, people have always wanted to see Bugs Bunny as like a twist where he's a villain, and that could have been something cool.
Would have been interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would have been like out there to do, because Bugs Bunny is not a villain, but
I love just the Daffy, Porky, Marvin the Martian.
oh yes.
Marvin
Yes.
the Martian.
Marvin the Martian.
That's literally us three.
Oh, you're talking
Okay, yeah.
Daffy, Porky.
Marvin the Martian.
Look at the bill.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's true. That's awesome.
you can buy it on Prime.
And we can buy it.
I'll buy it on Prime and let you
No,
watch it.
You're just talking about like free streaming, right?
Yeah,
Even though we still pay for it.
yeah.
I'd watch that whole show.
Oh, it's so good.
Really clever too. I mean, just it was almost like
It's the wow.
Yeah, I mean the quality of like Batman the animated series mixed with Animaniacs
Oh, absolutely.
in a comedy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good amalgamation. And then the intro
Frozen.
with Tom Jones singing
Yeah.
the intro, and it feels like a James Bond opening, and it is awesome. I listen to it a lot. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think it's the best thing to come out of Looney Tunes series wise outside of Looney Tunes.
Absolutely. And then it would
I
air.
do like what is it? Baby Looney Tunes?
Baby Looney Tunes.
That
man.
show-
You gotta get your son on
I
that.
ain't
that
taking
show
that back.
pops.
Absolutely. But it was airing on Cartoon Network, but then it stopped, and then it would
Boomerang.
air on Boomerang.
Yeah.
Thank God, because then I was able to watch it.
Yep.
But yeah, I always have fond memories watching Duck Dodgers.
Probably one of the most underrated animated series.
Oh, absolutely.
Just people don't talk about it.
No, they do not.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's like we need a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it needs to be on HBO Max.
Yeah,
It was.
It was.
When it switched to Max, they took it off.
That's
We'll get
really
back on it.
disappointing. Yeah, get back.
Please.
Please put it on Max. Thank you.
In case I can't see, I just made the timeline massive.
I mean, you can. Your eyes are better than mine.
I'm just tinkering here.
Sounds about right.
Wait,
Duck Dodgers.
so
guys.
Fantastic.
that was your second pick?
That's my third.
That was third pick.
third pick. Now second pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yep.
I was making sure where we were at.
Lined up.
Where we go?
He's about to get.
It's not a matter of where we are, but where we are going. And this is where we're going.
Not where I am underneath.
What would I do?
That defines me.
So
My goodness, we're nerds.
Batman always gets thrown into every single episode.
I mean, duh.
he always finds a way.
See, I would show this, but this is the Batman emblem, but it's messed up.
Oh, that's the wrong mug.
It's the wrong mug. You messed
Wow.
up, man.
I think the right one is right down there.
Cool.
And I forgot about it. We'll switch it for the next episode.
That's
so.
fair. So number 2
Number 2.
is a show that all three of us love.
Mhm.
One that I have recently watched in its entirety.
Know what it is? Yep.
You know what it is?
Yep.
Maybe.
I know exactly.
I don't know if you know what
I
it is.
got no clue.
I know exactly what it is, and I'm worried.
The one thing I can say for this is it's probably the greatest animated series ever made. Definitely up for grabs with my other contender, which is number 1. Some of the most beautiful animation ever put to screen. Some of the best stories ever told in animation. Probably the best stories ever told in animation. Some of the best characterization of a character. The pinnacle version of the greatest character ever made. And that can only be, again, he makes it in Batman the Animated Series.
Nice.
I don't even, I mean,
What's your number 1?
you'll see.
I think I might have an idea.
Well, Batman the Animated Series.
like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm talking right here with my number 1, and I think it, along with my other choice fit well together almost. They could
Absolutely.
they could complement each other. But Batman the animated series, yeah. I really don't know what else to say.
No, I
Because
mean it's been said already.
it's been said already.
It's just a phenomenal show that was for kids, but it's for adults as well.
Mhm.
More for adults, and it's
I think
just
more for
edgy,
adults.
It's dark. It's just
The best Batman.
the best Batman. And
Period.
rest in peace, Kevin Conroy,
Yep.
the quintessential Batman.
Absolutely. I just want to watch it again.
Yeah, oh, I know,
Oh, it's so good, man.
so good.
I'm
The
feel
lightning
bad
strike,
not.
like
It's hard not having it at one.
I'm
But it's
curious
with
to see
it's
what
with
you got.
reason. It's with reason. That's
Okay.
all I'll say.
Okay.
Don't want to discredit it at all, because if I had to say, I can't say how good it is. It is the greatest animated series ever made. Television series, greatest animated series ever made.
Nice.
That's all I'll say.
I feel like you have your number one because of the attachment you have to whatever show it is,
Could be.
versus you literally just went through the animated series like a few months ago.
There
Finally,
there is one thing that's been a pinnacle
for your entire
event
life.
in my entire life. Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. Number two for me. You guys might be a little mad of what I decided to do with my number two, but I cannot split this apart. So I'm technically on paper putting two shows at my number two spot. But in my mind, and in a lot of people's mind on the internet, it's one show just named differently. And that is the best superhero animated show that I've seen completely.
Ah.
It is Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I
Yeah,
could
it's
not
just-
split them apart.
Yeah, no,
You
it
don't
should be one show.
no. Who splits them apart? It should not be split
Well,
apart.
when you look it up, you buy them, they're always split apart.
No, but it's literally just.
I did make them.
It's two separate shows, because when you
But it's-
stream it,
but
it's
it's-
on a separate thing.
Yeah.
When you look it up, it says 2000 to 2002 or something, then
Mhm.
2003 to 2000, whatever.
Regardless, I think it's fair to have it where you have it.
I think it makes sense. So,
Yeah.
and I wanted, because I really love both of them. I feel like what I remember, I like Unlimited even more.
Unlimited is
Like it's just it's
Unlimited.
not
The
that much
the
better.
superior
It's just-
seasons.
Yes,
Hmm.
but I like Unlimited because it has so much more to offer. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I appreciate the original because it focuses on the core
Yes.
of the league. So
Mhm.
they're both great. But I watched that show. I think I don't remember when, but I would watch episodes here and there, and then I watched it all the way through one time, and I
Mhm.
was blown away.
Hmm.
And that was it. I didn't even watch or really know about Batman the animated series or any of the other DC animated series. So I started with that one, and I'm still working my way through Batman the animated series to finish it. But that one's been phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
Well, what's top? What's number one?
We'll see.
Oh, wait. That's the thing is like now I have no idea what y'all's.
Number one.
I don't really know. I know what yours is. I think I
don't
said
know
that
mine.
on the last episode too, and he said you don't know mine. I was like, I do.
I think I know yours.
Yeah.
But I don't know your number two yet.
Mm.
I'd be very interested.
Okay, I don't know. Well, I don't know your one then because I
Okay.
don't know what you said for two.
All right, boys. My number two. It's not something I necessarily grew up with, but it was a turning point in my admiration for animation and just animation in general. It was during the heyday, the golden age of watching this certain content, and yeah, it was when I watched it when I was a teenager on Netflix, and I'm like, holy crap. And now I did watch this type of animation as a kid, but it was for something else. This right here had so much character, so much story, just amazing concept. I am talking about 2007's Death Note.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Wow.
Death Note was a turning point for me. I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but then I stopped. I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Those were, and that was anime that I watched as a kid, but then I stopped. But then I come back watching Death Note and of course Ghost in the Shell, the anime movie, and it just opened up a whole new door to animation that is anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all the better for it because anime is just so amazing. The fact that they're still doing 2D animation in Japan, I love, because it's a dying art. And, you know, animation, you can do so much more things, sometimes more than live action.
Mm-hmm.
And Death Note is amazing. All the characters, the villain or the main character, he's supposed to be a villain, but then you also like you go through it with him, and you know, is he going to continue being what he is, or is he going to actually face the music? The Death Note concept itself with this book, that he can, you know, take lives as much as he wants, like turns into he has a god complex. It's so freaking good.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is honestly the gateway anime for anybody to watch.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen Death Note, don't get turned off by it being anime and being from Japan or whatever. There's an English dub, by the way, which is actually pretty good. Actually really good. But it's so good. I'm telling you, after 2 episodes or even 3 episodes, you will be hooked. This guy, the first 5 minutes, I showed him it. First 5 minutes. First 2 minutes, he was hooked, and I had him watch it, and he absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, Death Note, get on it, son.
Nice.
And the Duffer Brothers, they're supposed to be working on a new live action Death Note series.
Let's hope it's good, because the live action movie was not good.
I trust in them.
The only thing that was good was Willem Dafoe, who played Ryuk, the Shinigami. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was great.
That's
but
crazy.
He was barely in it. So.
Yeah.
Death Note is absolutely amazing. That is my favorite anime. Like, there's no question about that. But
I wonder if we'll make an appearance.
well, I got sad when he said it. I was like, I forgot it, and then I was like, oh no, I kept mine more towards like stuff I had seen when I was younger, besides a couple picks.
Right.
That's a whole different video I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It'll come back up.
Yeah. So,
but I do want to do honorable mentions
Yes.
before we get into our number 1 picks.
good thing Sam has a great memory.
Yep.
So for honorable mentions, I had 5 choices. Just gonna go right through them.
Yeah.
Have to echo your choice of Tom and Jerry. Classic animation, some of the best ever made. I'm gonna also go in with the original, kind of compliment yours, but the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1987.
Nice.
Specifically the first season. 5-episode arc. Could be a movie.
Nice.
Out of this world. After this, we're going to go into, you just said it, Justice League Unlimited. Yep.
Heck yeah.
One of the greatest series I've ever seen in my life. Can't wait to rewatch it.
Yes.
Oh man, what were they?
There's so many good shows, man.
Alrighty. So then we have Superman, the animated series as well. Complimented Batman beautifully. And then I thought I had one more. 5th choice. What is going to be? It's creeping in now as I'm continuing watching it. But we're talking about Clone Wars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to finish it though to really count it, I think. But it's right as of right now. It's getting really good in season 3.
Oh yeah.
Solid honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try and keep mine to 5. No, I'm only at 5.
He's got 50 ready to go.
Yeah.
You're ready.
5 honorable mentions for me: Batman Beyond, Blue's Clues.
That's what you meant by live action animation hybrid.
Yeah, I guess that is. I forgot, man. Looking back now, I remember, but for some reason, every time I think about it, my first thought is it's all animated.
Essentially, just Steve dancing around.
I know. Now I'm looking, because I looked it up on YouTube to show Atlas, and he was not vibing with it at all.
Really?
Because it was terrible quality on YouTube, but I was like, I don't remember how weird this actually is.
Just in
It's a grown-ass man talking to a blue dog.
It's mixing. It's mixed, so I don't think that should count.
Okay.
So I'll take that off. In place of that, Looney Tunes.
Okay.
Roly Poly Oly, It's watching back. It is weird.
If you guys heard, if you hear all this stuff, you know who he is.
Bro, that show was on. I used to eat my Cheerios, and that was like,
You probably just talked about what you did last week. I don't know.
This morning.
I actually watched a clip when I was going through this, and it is. I don't remember anything from that show. I just know, looking back now, they look scary, and it's like, how did I enjoy that as a kid?
Yeah,
and I had to mention it because it was one of my most often watched shows.
It was mine as well. Yeah,
it was. I don't know. It's a kids thing.
No, yeah.
Maybe just weird people like us.
I love me some Rolly.
He's just acting like he hasn't seen Rolly, but I guarantee you he's got a Rolly Blu-ray in his.
I saw some Rolly pajamas, if I'm not mistaken.
That's yourself. No.
And then my fourth honorable mention would be Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah,
show's goated.
Nice.
Watching with my son right.
What show though?
77.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a new one that's not that bad, but definitely a classic one.
You McGregor.
Looking at sea otters.
Return of the Sea Otters.
That is wholesome. That's hilarious.
He's very happy to see that.
Yeah, literally. I think you said the exact same thing on that last episode.
I love that one commercial with him as well.
Yes.
Where he's
EDM.
Yeah. For the places you'll go.
I gotta see that. I don't think I have. The last honorable mention is.
Sorry, Ewan McGregor, man.
It's a show that I freaking love. I've talked to you about it a lot, and I don't know if you've really seen the whole thing. It's 3 seasons of Transformers Prime.
Oh yeah.
That's not what you were thinking.
No. No.
Transformers Prime is great. I watched that when I was a little bit older, like 15, 16, I think is what it was. Yeah, maybe 17, I don't know. But it's a great Transformers show. And what are you laughing at?
I just heard you scratching your stomach, and it sounded the same. It sounded the exact same. A little bit of ASMR for you. Sorry.
Stop you. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do.
Man, I just realized I didn't really pronunciate the word honorable. So I just say, do you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable.
Honorable mentions.
You have
honorable lectures?
I do. Well, it's just off the cuff.
What are they?
Is it like
Please.
Daffy Duck the series, Daffy Duck season 2?
Apparently, that's all he got from it was just Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck, Orange Bill.
All right, so some of the honorable mentions for me are Ed, and Eddie. And that's literally us.
Yeah.
That's literally us, by the way. Ed, Double D, Eddie.
Who's
You're Ed.
Oh, there's an Ed with
He's
2
Double
Ds.
D.
who's the one with the green jacket? And he's like,
you. That's Ed.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Double D,
Double D.
absolutely.
Yep.
That is so Double D. Are you kidding?
And then I'm Eddie. I'm the schemer.
Wait, so
This is actually perfect.
It's very much, huh?
I'm trying to figure out who's who.
That's you. That's you. You're, Eddie calls him Sockhead, so that's you. You're that's with your head.
Did you give me mad Double D vibes?
Hey, Sockhead. Man, take that out of context. And then shut up. Don't say anything. Oh, okay. You're talking about the height. Eddie's short.
Are they?
Wait, is that you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Looks like Logan though.
A little bit.
But that's us.
That's great.
We're losers. That's great. Okay, so Ed and Eddie. Justice League. Just the entire series in general.
Oh,
Just
both,
Justice
yep.
League is amazing. Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Loved it as a kid. Code Lyoko. Wait, I've talked about it a while, sometimes, but it was on Cartoon Network. Group of teenagers fighting a computer system called Xana that would try to destroy humanity, and they would have to go into a virtual reality thing to fight the computer and shut him down or shut it down and then reverse the past every episode. It was so good. It was dark at times too. But it was just so good, man. It was one of the ones that I also watched religiously. A not so honorable mention that I'll just say right now, I enjoyed Totally Spies.
Oh man,
What is that?
There was a show from like it was like Charlie's Angels, if you know what that is, and it was from the
Was it like
Like-
3 dudes?
no, it was 3 girls.
Oh,
It was like in early 2000s. There was like a redhead, a brunette, and a blonde.
Yep,
And they are
much.
spies, totally,
Kim Possible.
And they had
times
Alfred.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alfred as well.
It had an Alfred.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
But it was. All right, listen. It was one of those one. It was like Powderpuff Girls, where I was a kid. I enjoyed it. I'm not ashamed at all.
say it. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Totally.
good. Say it. That's right. That's right. Now
Totally
going
spies.
now going back to being tough. Oh, and then Looney Tunes, man.
Looney Tunes.
I just
Absolutely.
grew up with that. Looney Tunes, like Tom and Jerry, like
Mhm.
those are the two. those are the two.
The image of Totally Spies.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
listen, it was goated, kind of, maybe.
It's like Josie and the Pussycats. I used to watch that show.
Jabberjaw.
So then, what are you
Jabber
saying?
Jaw. Well, I didn't say it on here.
I know.
I didn't say it on pod. I mean,
I got adventurous. But yeah, those honorable mentions.
Those are great choices all around.
Okay,
So we're hurtling into the number 1
here we go.
territory. Gonna kickstart number 1, and so this is why Batman the Animated Series landed at 2, and it is due to the fact that my number 1 choice is it is essentially what cartoons are. It's the first thing that I think most people would think of when they think of a cartoon. It defined what a cartoon is. It defined all the cartoon stereotypes and the cartoon tropes. It did animation. While Disney was breathtaking animation and they had some good stuff, this one was almost a never miss with anything they made for at least 30 years. It really is. I think it's the definitive symbol of animation as a whole. Was specifically cartoons, not just animation, but cartoons. And the best lineup of characters you could ever create. One that isn't being utilized today as well. And it's the one that meant the most to me growing up. Looney Tunes.
yep.
Has to be.
It took me a minute, but you kept everything you kept saying. I'm like, oh, no, I know what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Can't.
yeah.
It's just, I mean, it is literally the definitive cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
what they did for all of those years with also having pristine animation like Disney, but being hilarious. You know, and like the animator said, we didn't make these for kids, we made them for adults.
That's awesome.
It's probably
Fun to watch, too.
it's fun to watch, and honestly, if you're talking about just comedy in general from like the 30s to the 60s, I think it was legitimately the funniest thing created in that entire run.
Yeah.
Just because the guys who wrote the stuff they were comedy geniuses.
Absolutely.
They
A lot of characters in there too.
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck,
They like
Porky
handle
Pig,
all of
Bud.
them well.
handle all of them well. The rules they have for all the characters, the way they're supposed to behave, and also just the entire thing it utilized of just the simple concept of really it's the chase.
Yeah.
It's antagonist, protagonist, and there you go, and they're off. But
Oh, yeah.
just the things they were able to do with all of that is out of this world.
Yeah.
Um,
Good pick.
yeah, so those are my top 5.
That's the only pick you could have had,
Yeah.
like for your number 1.
Absolutely.
That's
Too much throughout my entire life to not give it to them.
Yeah, we know you. So like this is
Yeah.
that and Disney. Those are the two.
Those are the 2. Yeah. But Batman the Animated Series is able to creep in and
Oh yes,
slide into 2.
as it should.
I know John's number 1 pick exactly as well.
Of course you guys do. All right, boys. So
Oh, we can do a little reversal. Let
guys
Justin
know-
go last.
oh, that's right.
If you want me to
go
go
first,
first, that's fine because
you go. Oh,
I know
sorry.
what you want.
Well, what is yours?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think you know what mine is?
Oh,
I have
okay.
absolutely no clue what yours is.
No clue.
I might.
I mean, I feel like if I give you guys time to think, you'd come up with it, but it might take a little bit too long while we're recording right now.
The Flintstones.
That's a good guess. That's not
The Jetsons.
Because like the Flintstones and the Jetsons are great.
Yeah, they are.
I have no
It's just I don't really. I wouldn't watch those over some
Got
of
me
these.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
The show is awesome.
Your favorite animated series of all time.
Yep. Think about me.
Oh, there's one in
Think about
particular. There's 2 in particular that stand out.
Think about it.
I think all right.
If we keep doing this, you're gonna take forever.
I think I locked in on.
All right, I'm gonna say.
I think I locked in on my answer. I'll tell you if I was right.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about the show much because it's already been talked about. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, okay,
where
that's
are
right.
you? Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
That show,
Absolutely.
that is, as you said with Looney Tunes, that's like classic cartoon.
Yeah.
Right
I know
there.
it is.
You
Absolutely.
already talked about it. It's got kid elements in it, but it's also got adult elements in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great characters, great team of characters, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And thrilling suspense. It's like everything like that's right up my alley. It's probably what made me like the suspense and thriller genre the most.
I mean, look at, foundationally, and also, I mean, you can even throw it out there that foundationally, the three that we name as our number one. Yours
Yeah.
will be a surprise to everyone, but it does set the tone for our overall things that we pick out and we like, whether it be the suspense thriller, whether I'm not going to say yours yet, or whether it be the kind of outlandish comedy
Yeah.
of the things we look for and stuff. So that's very interesting, actually, what we find. And now, if you say yours, that'll complement exactly what I just said.
Absolutely. So my number one is, I think, the best animated content ever created, and I'll stand by that. That is Batman the Animated Series. Being a direct Batman fan, we've already talked about the animated series. It's amazing. It is the definitive Batman. No other Batman can rival this. Again, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. He is Batman. He will always be Batman. The complexities of that character in there is there are arcs for the villains. There's tragedy. It's dark. It's also mainly for adults, honestly, but they got away with making it as a kids show.
Yeah.
It felt, each episode felt like a short movie. The music by Shirley Walker is phenomenal. Feels like a big budgeted film score. Just so amazing, so phenomenal. It's like, I wish we had that type of animation, that type of animated content still. So
That pristine and good. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
so the animated series.
And
It was clean.
represents
Oh, yeah.
John's love of the dark,
Yeah. The loner.
literally
The
drawn on
love.
the black paper.
That's the only way it should be. That's phenomenal.
And way to represent Warner Brothers, all three of us for our number one choice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
three Warner Animation.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
So
awesome.
also have like the biggest, the same company, but three different styles from that same company.
Ironically, the three that are on there, they got a little like Mount Rushmore painting type thing at the
That's awesome.
studio. And those are the three with one other thrown on.
Who's the other?
Fred Flintstone.
Really?
Yeah, I would say, I think they chose four options on it to kind of be like kind of the benchmarks of what they did with the studio. Looney Tunes being the foundation.
So they
Bat-
got Batman, Bugs, Fred, and
Well-
Scooby? Or
Yeah, Scooby, and then Fred Flintstone on there. I'd probably replace Fred with Tom and Jerry.
I would too.
I know that's
That'd be your
just-
more. That'd be your more.
Not that Flintstones is bad. It's just
Tom and Jerry's just incredible.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's what I would do. But I mean, technically, those are Hanna-Barbera animations. Tom and Jerry, Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, Warner acquired later, but they have done a great job of making those characters really a part of the brand.
Yeah.
Especially Scooby-Doo. They have that Scooby-Doo more than I think any of the Hanna-Barbera material. They really utilized.
I mean there's actually, I forgot to mention Scooby-Doo. Obviously the original is the one that I'm putting on my list, but What's New Scooby-Doo is not that bad. It's actually
No, it's good.
pretty
Oh, it's
good.
great.
And
Yeah.
my second favorite Scooby-Doo content, even more than the live action movies, is the 2010 Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. There's like 2 seasons.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
a
was.
really good show.
I watched that on Cartoon Network a lot. That was very good.
I love the
Great
animation.
animation, yeah.
It felt more adult
Mhm.
the way it was handled, but it still had that kid feel at the same time. And I don't know. I want to rewatch that one. I got to figure out what it's on, but I remember being blown away when that
Yeah.
came out.
Scooby-Doo's probably been one of the most successful, except for the most recent attempt, but everything else has been probably the most successful show that when when they take it and they reboot it, you're gonna have moderate success with it, almost guaranteed. It's pretty interesting how that's kind of worked out. Batman, for the most part, I mean, Brave and the Bold was pretty successful. The Batman had a little bit of a good run, just none like the animated series.
No, I agree.
It would be nice though if we did get a new. I would love to have a new. We got a lot of movies, like
Yes,
at least
sir.
once a year, but I'd love a series, like a
Listen,
real.
I'm hoping that Cape Crusader is that one.
Well, I don't think that's.
It's not happening.
It's not.
No,
What?
it's gonna be like audio only.
Yeah, they already started. If I'm not mistaken, they already started releasing audio only stuff, but I think it got turned into a different animated show, or it might have just gotten canceled completely.
Well,
Very disappointing.
that is very disappointing.
But I am hoping that with the success of My Adventures of Superman, we see something new
Yeah,
coming out of them with the new Batman series.
I hope so, man.
But great choices all around. Fun episode. Oh,
I guess it changed. I guess Amazon picked it up.
Amazon did pick it up.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
So
forgot about
over-
that.
I heard about it. Yes, yeah.
Isn't
Oh, okay.
J.J. Abrams involved in it?
It's
It
supposed
might
to be.
have. Yeah, it was supposed to be, but I don't know. Maybe. I think it was because it was supposed to be Conroy,
Yeah.
and then that happened, so they just put it all on hold. But Amazon did pick it up, and it says it's for some reason still expected to release by the end of this year.
Just get Jensen Ackles to play. It's true.
I mean, look at the. It's like a
amazing.
classic
Yeah.
looking long ears Batman.
Like 39.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's a shame. Prime makes good content. I mean, isn't what's that one show? Invincible, isn't that Prime?
Invincible, The Boys.
Yeah. That's Seth Rogen's studio.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Really?
It
But
stands in both of those.
and then I mean, that's actually kind of, they could turn that into Killer Animation Studio because they also did, I mean, I guess Imagine Sausage Party, but
Oh.
no, not that one though. Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They co-produced Mutant Mayhem with Viacom, and
Mm-hmm.
it was great.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, it's a shame that it's not part of the Max kind
I
of
know.
package, because Batman being such a key element in Warner.
It would be
Yeah.
great to go from watching the animated series and then just click back and click on Cape Crusader and
Oh, absolutely.
After I get through Clone Wars, though, I do think I might check out the Batman again.
Hmm.
Kind of want to
That'd be
rewatch that a little
live
bit more.
The show.
No, love Batman. The show.
The show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I would love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years. That came on Boomerang as well
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and I haven't watched it since probably on that. So I was probably like 8 or 9.
Love the theme song.
I
It's got
don't
this
remember
James
it at
Bond
all,
theme. It's pretty cool.
but not.
No. It'll never be like that.
No.
But
But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Yeah, that's all, folks. Until next time, and next top 5 extravaganza. Peace.